I try to find people from all sorts of different backgrounds, and usually the reason I can find them is because they were found out in their lifetime. So they were either published in, the curiosity column of the newspaper, or put on trial, or arrested, put to death, that kind of thing. Lisbetta Oldsdotter, Swedish, or went by Mats Ersson at times, was beheaded in the Haymarket in Stockholm. Mary de Charmant Bassani, he's coming in, he's going to the loom, and in the very background I depicted the noose because it said that he, rather than go back to wearing women's clothing and doing women's work, he was like, put me to death. In some cases, the people I'm depicting did identify as women, and in other cases, they lived their lives as men, identified as men completely, and some were in between, chose neutral names for themselves. Okuhara Seiko was a Japanese painter. They chose a gender-neutral name for themselves. It actually meant Clear Lake in Japanese, and but they presented themselves in male dress and had a male hairstyle. Opened up a school for girls, and actually was a very successful painter. I remember a time when I looked in the Catholic Catechism book when I was in high school, and it basically said under homosexuality that if it was your cross to bear. That got me really curious. Like, what did real queer people in history do to survive? And how would I have gotten by had I been born into a different era? Caterina Visani, or Giovanni Bordoni, after Giovanni died, they dissected him to try to determine the cause of homosexuality. So they looked at a whole list of organs, from the gallbladder to the uterus to the intestines, and so I put all those on a plate, and he's holding them and dressed all in white. If there was one thing that I would want people to get out of seeing these paintings, it would be to see that we've always been there. Queer people have always been there, finding a way to get by throughout history and throughout different cultures all over the world.